Good morning. Really wonderful to be here. You will either be relieved or disappointed that, unlike my daughter Emily, I'm not going to say a word about DNA. Instead, I'd like to share a few things I've learned while walking alongside of Aaron, my differently abled son, about light and darkness. Isaiah says, "The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light." And this is true. But John's revision of Isaiah has always struck me as a bit closer to the mark. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. I've come to see that whatever this journey is about, it's not about walking in unabated light. It's about holding the light and the darkness together in such a way that the darkness does not overcome us. Taking Aaron to church has always been something of an adventure. Aaron experiences space and time and bodies and language and just about everything else a little differently than most people. So the liturgy is one big adventure, but especially the Eucharist. I'm not going to tell the story that was told around my kitchen table last night about the time Aaron took the Eucharist, chewed it up, and spit it out into his father's hand, and then he had to eat it. His father had to eat it. I wanted to tell the story, one particularly memorable story, which was his first communion after he was baptized. We were kneeling dutifully up at the altar, and the wafer hit his tongue, and he said, really loudly. And then the cup of wine came around, and he reached up to grab it and took a drink, and he wouldn't let go. More! And a tug of wine ensued, and neither the startled Eucharistic minister nor Aaron were prepared to concede. It can be astonishing to watch someone take the Eucharist literally. Aaron takes much of what we do here literally. Many of you have seen how when the organ begins and the procession starts, and he sees his sister carrying the cross, he looks like he's about ready to die from happiness. He gets this huge radiant smile on his face, and he starts rocking back and forth and quivering with delight and flapping his arms, and he gazes on me and all of us as his eyes alight as if to say, "Isn't this just amazing? Isn't this incredible just to be here?" This happens every week. Same thing. Each time I pause and think, well, it is pretty incredible just to be here. The organ is pretty incredible. Equally astonishing to him is the peace. When, after being immobilized in our heart pews for eternity, we burst out of captivity and everyone greets each other, shaking hands and hugging and looking each other's eyes and saying those magic words. There's nothing like it in the entirety of the rest of his life. We process, we eat, we touch each other, and Aaron feels like he belongs. He gets to do in his body what all the other bodies are doing, which is a rare thing for him. And I get to stand beside him like some incarnation junkie, struck again by the wonder of the holy and the mundane. And every time I feel bathed in light. Aaron himself is a kind of light kindler. His differences are so clear that each person who meets him is faced with a choice. Trader Joe's, Checkers, Jamba Juice, smoothie makers, Bald Hill walkers, they all have to choose whether to be kind or not. Most choose kindness. All of you in this wonderfully welcoming congregation have chosen kindness over and over again, for which we are very grateful. Everyday people who are walking in great darkness, and the darkness of boredom or depression or anxiety, or simply the perpetual rain of Corvallis in January, reach inside in the face of difference and hold out their inner candles. It's breathtaking. The current news cycle screams that we cannot do this, but we can. I've seen it. Hundreds upon hundreds of souls lit up by kindness. It's not all light. Imagine having a strong, healthy 21-year-old male body with all the hunger and hormones thereto appertaining, and being dependent on others to tie your shoes, get your food, and give you a shower. Imagine being able to understand about 90% of what people say, but only able to express 5% of it. Imagine navigating entire political, social, cultural, educational, and economic systems that, with rare exceptions, have engineered themselves around the idea that you are of no value. There are days, weeks, months so dark that the only thing that makes sense is to throw and hit, scream, take your clothes off, hold your breath every 60 seconds until you pass out, or run away. Erin has tried all of the above. Imagine being hit by your brother so hard you are hurt and scared. Imagine being hit by your son so many times that you decide he can't live in your house anymore, and you have to send him away to foster care until the wounds heal. Imagine how taking care of someone who needs help 24/7 for 21 years wears on a career, a marriage, a life. It is very easy to let the darkness overcome us. I remember a time early on when we were groping in the dark. There was grief. There were unanswerable questions. There was no straight path forward. All was uncertain and overwhelming. It was like being in a dark cave, perched on a teetering precipice over a giant black abyss. I was in that cave then, and I have visited many times since. Many things take us there. Fear, illness, mental illness, tragedy, uncertainty, shame, violation, a sense of helplessness, watching those we love destroy themselves while we stand by powerless. Dark nights of the soul, all. What I've learned in the dark is that's where you see the light. At that time, what I came to see, clear as day, is that it is while you are in the darkest places that you can see and feel the light that sustains you. It radiates out from all those who know you and love you and treasure you. Teachers, mentors, family, friends, present and past. Jesus, angels, Mary, God, whomever. Like points of light just beyond the abyss. Even if it appears you are separated from them by a chasm, their love literally holds you up, prevents you from falling over the precipice. More astonishing, even when you cannot see them, they are there, glowing in the dark. I've also come to see that choosing light often feels like jumping off a precipice, a crazy act of foolish courage. In those moments, it feels impossible, unintelligible, and I cannot imagine how I will do it. But I think I will break unless I do, so I jump. And I find myself in the act of loving, in the act of hoping, in the act of not fearing and not despairing. And although my leap sometimes makes little difference in the things outside of me, it makes all the difference inside of me.